So how is everyone? I hope you're all well. Did you watch my video earlier today? If not, after this video, make sure you do, and just know that when you get to the end of that video, this is the video that I was talking about in that video to tell you to come and watch. Phew, what a mouthful. Now look, what I said was, in order for you to say this is an accident and be confident, I mean really confident, to say look, there isn't any foul play. All of you people that's saying that there's foul play, you're all idiots. You're reaching, you're looking at things the wrong way, you're making shit up out of nothing. This is an accident and we can see it clearly. There are some questions that you would have to be confident to answer. You really would. You would have to be confident to say no one was to blame. Now this is the definition of an accident. Now, if you read that and then place that into the Keily Rodni case, how well does that fit? Now, what I'm going to say is, these are indeed the whys, and that is why, in the first place, did Keily Rodni's mum allow Keily to go to this party? Bearing in mind that she was just 16 years old, and these people going to this party were older. They were seniors. Even though Keily she was an early riser, so to speak. She had graduated with honours, very smart girl. But she had no place there. For her age and for her safety, she had no place there. So why let her go? What, because it was easier to let her go? Because of her tenacity that we hear you speak of? Maybe she was a rebel and forced you to make her go. But then why did you then allow her to drive illegally? She wasn't supposed to be driving. And there was numerous issues with regards to her driving. It would have been the time that she was told that she could come home. It was also the fact that she could have potentially been carrying passengers. But look, this isn't a hate track on the mum. This is just those two questions. Why allow a 16-year-old girl to go to a party that was for older kids, and the likelihood of there being drugs and alcohol were high? And I say that because I know, and I'm over the fucking pond, and I now know that there is a fentanyl issue, for instance, in Truckee. You fucking live there, so you must know what's going on in your own town for So look, you set your 16-year-old girl to go to a party around people who are older than her, there'd be a few of them, in a place that's known to have a drug issue, there's likely to be alcohol, and you allowed her to do it, and not only that, but you put her in a position where she could do that illegally. So that's question one. No blame there then. Then we have a situation where you've got to ask yourself, why would the girl who's going with Keily, they've planned to go, they've been together doing stuff during the day, they get there, and then within 10 minutes, she leaves her there. Who's she leave her there with? Because what we've also not seen is a lot of people coming forward saying that they were with Keily, they spoke to Keily, they saw her. Who's come forward? Who has come forward? About 4 people. 3 people? The people who was in this tight-knit circle. The girls who were all close friends and all on each other's social media, but Keily wasn't. Make that make sense. But you're happy with that. That doesn't ring an alarm bell to you. The fact that Sammy has said things that have contradicted her. And look, it could be a lot of things. I think she made an excuse at one point that she'd been drinking. She was, she was drunk. She couldn't remember that well. She could remember a lot of other things. Like she could remember the fact that they were sharing cups, they were sharing drinks, they'd gone to the loo together in the woods, and what Keily was wearing, and the fact that she knew that she was drunk and she didn't want to get in a car with her because she knew that, she knew all about drink driving and the dangers. It's a pity that she didn't know the dangers of leaving her friend, who was 16, at a party that herself had deemed unsettling. Again, but you're happy with that. You don't see any red flags in that. You don't see any blame in that. You don't see, like they show in the Bird's Triangle, where you're almost given warnings of something that can happen before something does happen. And there's that ignorance of these little things, like you ignore the fact that she shouldn't have been there. You ignore the fact that she was driving illegally. You ignore the fact that there was drink and she shouldn't have had that either. You ignore the fact that the party the people around her had deemed that that party was not right. There was people there. There was older people there, you was uncomfortable, and other people in your little clique had left. You ignored that. You then left her there, knowing that she was drunk, and her vehicle was there, and the assumption that she would sleep there. But you're all happy with this. That doesn't ring any alarm bells to you. There's no red flags there. Nothing whatsoever. The road that we talk about, that Kylie would have had to have driven on, and the terrain of that road, and the difficulty in that, you are not finding that there's any oddities in the fact that she was able to navigate it. She was able to drive it through that terrain in that vehicle, fine, all that way, down to the water, and then a perfect, almost straight line down into that reservoir. But again, no red flags. Then we talk about the tow truck vehicle and that situation. That law enforcement still has not come out and said that this is not connected. And look, it may not be. But my question is consistently, why would law enforcement not tell us? They've just come out and said that Jagger has been cleared. That's what my other video was about today. So why not come out and simply say this is unconnected? We know it's causing some confusion. There's been a lot of, speculation around this situation. There's no need. We've spoke to them. We've spoke to the people involved, and they are nothing to do with this. But that, again, because it hasn't happened, you don't see any red flags in that either. Look, I'm not saying that this could not be an accident, but I'm saying that as it stands at the moment... I cannot just jump balls deep into saying this is an accident because there's too many other things to simply ignore. And people may not like that. People may think it's about conspiracies and all that, and, we're reading into things, we're reaching. Are we? Or is it more of a reach to just go ahead and say, no, accident, definitely an accident, ignore all that other stuff, nothing to do with it, this was an accident? You tell me down below, is it indeed more of a reach to say that this was an accident, or is it more of a reach to say that this was indeed foul play or negligence? And I'll catch you all in the next one.